I truly believe that this video can change your life. It can change the lives of your future family. Because really, there's nobody on this earth that's going to take care of the future you better than the present you can right now. Give me 5 minutes of your time, man. Let's work through this. I promise you're going to find this information useful. Hey guys, so the very first thing I'd like you to do is just go to Google, and then you're going to type in TVM calculator, Tango Victor Bravo. All right, TVM calculator. All right, TVM calculator, and you're going to go to the very first one that pops up right here. It says fncalculator.com, and this is what I use whenever I'm just playing around with these numbers. But here's what I want to show you, okay? This is a basic time value of money calculator, and I'm not going to do a full instructional video on this, but I want you to understand this because you're going to see how you can change your life by just being diligent with making savings contributions to some type of an account, okay? Check it out, all right? So this first part is present value. This is money or cash that you have on hand. Payments is the amount of money that you're going to put in, whether it's monthly or yearly. We can set that up down here. Future value, that's what you could have, given a bunch of different scenarios. This is your annual percentage rate that you receive on your investment. Periods, this is the number of either months or the years that you have the money invested, okay? So what I want to do is I want to come down here and I want to change this to annually. That way everything is going to be compounding annually because it's going to have our annual rate of return right here, and all that is going to be synced up. So the first thing you do is just come down here and change this to annually, okay? Here's what I want to show you. All right, suppose you have no money right now, okay? And you are going to start making contributions to a retirement account. And you think, okay, I could do $300 a month into a retirement account. Okay, great. So let's say that this is going to be your payments to your retirement account. So to do that at $300 a month, what you're going to do is, how much is that a year? All right, because remember, we changed this to annually. How much is $300 a year? That's $3,600 a year. So look, it's money going out. So put negative 3,600. All right, that's $300 a month for the year. 3,600. I hope that makes sense. So if you were to wonder what the future value of this money would be given all these other variables, let's check it out. All right, suppose you go to the stock market. Okay, the average return on stocks are 12% in the S&P 500. And before everybody says you got to worry about inflation and the real rate of return and all that, forget all that, man. I just want to explain something to people who have not seen all this before, okay? Just hold your tongue and just come along for the ride, because if you haven't seen this before, you need to understand this, all right? The average return of the S&P 500 is 12% annually, okay, over its lifetime, all right? And let's say you're going to make this contribution for let's say you're 25 right now, okay? 35, 45, 55, 65. That's 40 years, all right? All right, let's just say you're already 35 and you can only do it for 30 years, all right? So you're 35 now, that puts you 45, 55, 65. So that is 30 years, okay? So what is the future value, of if you did that, all right? Let's check it out. Press this button right here. $868,000. If you started contributing $3,600 annually to your retirement account, got 12% returns, by the time you go to retire, you're going to have $868,000 in this account, okay? We're talking $300 a month. Dude, people blow that on like restaurants out. So what if you could change that to $4,800? What if you could do $400 a month? Look how that impacts that number. What if you're like, hey man, I'm gonna buckle down. I could do $500 a month. So that gives you what, $6,000 a year? Okay, that you would be putting into your IRA. Look at that, man. That's crazy, all right? So look, now that was for a 35-year-old, okay? Dude, if you are 25 years old right now, well, you have a head start on everybody else, okay? What if you did the 3600, okay? What if you just did $300 a month, all right? And you're 25 years old. That gives you 40 years to do this, man. That's what you're going to have. That is what you're going to have at 65, man, in 40 years, okay? On average, that's what you're looking at, okay? What if you buckled down at 25 and was like, hey, man, I'm going to get serious about this. I'm going gangbusters. I'm doing 400 a month. I'm doing 500 a month. Okay, guys, I hope you can see how powerful that is by starting early. What if you could only let's do a scenario. John, I can only do $100 a month. I can only do $1,200 a year. I know you can do more than that. You know you can do more than that. But let's just sit here and play devil's advocate and say that that's all you can muster up, okay? All right? Well, let's say you're 25 years old, all right? If that's all you can do and you started at 25 and you're going to have $920,000 in a retirement account, okay? Guys, everybody can do more than $100 a month, all right? That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing, okay? What I want to show you is that you can't afford not to do this, okay? If you are buckling down and again contributing, let's say, $500 a month to this thing, and you're doing this early on, like, man, look at what this is what you're going to retire with. This is absolutely wild that people with limited means can have this amount of money whenever they go to retire. I remember my finance professor sitting down, and this, the first time I was exposed to this, I remember thinking like, that just this light bulb went off. Like, it doesn't matter, like, if you're on a teacher salary, if you're on a fixed salary, if you're on a limited salary, like, it doesn't matter. Like, anybody can do this, okay? The key is just get going. Take it off the top, man. Just get in there and get going with this, all right? And obviously, the earlier, the better, okay? I want to show you what my particular scenario is. I got started. I wish that I had just started way earlier, but not everybody starts as early as what they wish they would have. So let's talk about that real quick. So a quick scenario on me and my personal situation. I want to show you kind of where we're at and what I've done to get to this point, so you can copy it and do the exact same thing. And even if you haven't started yet, dude, just start now. What's that old Chinese proverb? Like, the best time to plant a tree was 100 years ago. The second best time is today, right now. Like, let's do it. Like, today is the best day to freaking do this, man. But anyways, I want to show you where we're at right now. So me and my wife, whenever we got married, she started putting in about $4,500 annually into a retirement account. And that account right now has grown in value to about $215,000. That's one of the accounts that we have. All right. So the present value of that account is $215,000. Okay. This is what's so powerful. If we were to make no more payments ever, we just stopped investing right now at 37, and never made another payment to it. Okay. If we continue to just get the average returns that we've been getting, and let's say we're 37 right now, 47, 57, let's call it 25 years from now is whenever we would retire. If we didn't make any more contributions at all to our account, that's what we're looking at right now. Guys, this is what we have now. We don't have to put in a dime anymore. And this is, in 25 years, this is what we are projected to have in that account. Okay? What if we just continued to just do what we've always done, which we are, continue making, $4,500 in this account? All right, 4.2. All right? But the power of this is accumulating funds early. And look, if you are a young guy, like if you are in your early 30s or you're in your 20s, man, or better yet, like if you're seeing this and you're like a teenager, dude, this information changed your life. And it's nothing new, but there's just a lot of people have not been exposed to this, okay? And I feel like I have an audience, and my job, I feel like, is to kind of coach people through starting lawn care businesses and doing things the way that I've done it. Well, this is how I handle my finances, man. Like this is how we handle our retirement. And again, there's hundreds of people who have billions more dollars than we do, and they have rental properties everywhere, and they're involved in all kinds of business ventures. But look, I'm just showing you a basic strategy that works. All we have done is this right here every year. This is it. That's all we've done since we've been married. That's nothing. That's peanuts. That's peanuts, guys. And because of that right there, that we've been diligent whenever we were married, that has allowed us to accumulate in this one account $215,000. And in 25 years, if we invest nothing in that account, again, it's 3.6 is what you're looking at. And again, before people go back and say, yeah, you got to adjust for inflation, it's not really 3.6. I mean, cry me a river, Like, in 25 years, I'd rather have 3.6 than nothing, So stop making excuses and getting bogged down in the weeds of, inflation's at 5%, and you got to take into account, opportunity cost, and forget all that, man. If you're not investing, if you don't have a plan to have more than this, you don't get to speak on this. If you don't have a plan to have more than this, you don't get to speak on this. All right? That's just the way I feel about it. Compounding interest is how ordinary people can retire as millionaires. And I'm sorry, if you take $3.6 million and you're going to live off 4% of that, which is, typically what the annual or that is typically the annual withdrawal rate for retirees is about 4% is what's recommended. Well, 4% of 3.6 million, that's like 144 bands, man. And like, you're not even touching the principal. That's just living off a piece of the interest of this money. This money is just sitting there, and you're living off interest of this money, all right? Let me show you one more thing. What if you had a kid and you're like, hey, the day that they're born, I'm going to just put $2,000 in a retirement account for them, a Roth IRA. Before you start saying you can do this. You can absolutely open up a retirement account for a child. There is no age limit on this. Let's say they're born, man, and you're like, hallelujah, my kid's born. I'm just going to put $4,000 into a retirement account for them. All right, well, let's call it so whenever they turn 60, you've put $4,000 in the day that they were born, and look what you've done for them. $4,000. I can't do 4, I can only do 2. Man, I'd sure love to have 1.8, just sitting there waiting on me, because my parents had the foresight to make a $2,000 investment and never do it again. Never do it again. But what if you just made $100 contribution a month for the rest of their life? Oh my goodness. I didn't even know it was going to do that, guys. I mean, guys, I guess my point is like, you can come on here and play around with your scenario. You can come up with scenarios for your children to literally change your entire family tree if you just start early enough. And I don't want this to be a discouragement to those of us who are in their 30s or 40s and don't have anything. You can do this, man. Like, you're just going to have to buckle down and save harder and contribute more and spend less. But the whole point in me sharing this information with you is because it was shared with me and a light bulb went off. And I just think that there's a lot of people who don't know how this works. They don't understand how this works. Guys, again, please don't take this as financial advice that you just need to run and go open up accounts and stuff without doing a little bit of homework yourself. But look, you can go online, do a little bit of research on how to open up an IRA. It's very simple. Invest in an index fund that tracks the S&P 500 and ride it, man. But just get started. Do something because, believe it or not, one day retirement is going to come and you're not going to be cutting grass. And you might not have $1 million business that you can sell and ride off into the sunset. I know we like to tell ourselves that, but why not have another plan in place? Why not have multiple options whenever you retire for having income? And if you're relying on Social Security, I'm going to tell you right now that is a horrible thing to do. It's a horrible idea, and you're probably going to be up crap creek without a paddle. Take some responsibility for yourself, man. I can understand if you've never been shown this before. You don't have to feel bad about it. Like there's a lot of people don't. They don't know, but now you know. Now you know. Like there's no excuses. Sit down, play around with this, figure out what you need to do to take care of yourself and your family. Better yet, go open up a retirement account for your kid, change their life. Because really, there's nobody on this earth that's going to take care of the future you better than the present you can right now.